Alrighty, so we're going to take a look at something that's unique to digital files that you guys may not have considered. So right here we see three images that have been processed and converted to black and white. This one is a DNG that was created from the original RAW file. This is a JPEG file, and this is a RAW file with a sidecar file. So if we go in and take a look at where these reside on the computer, I would go in and hit reveal, and you would see inside this folder here are the three images. Now, if I go in and open up let's go ahead and do both of these. If I open up these two files using Photoshop, you will see that once it opens up, they open up inside of Camera Raw. Now, Camera Raw is a interface inside of Photoshop designed to process raw files, and you'll notice that both of these files look identical, and all of the processing adjustments that have been done to these. If I go to the basic panel, you can see all the sliders have been slid and it's been converted to black and white and all that stuff. So this has all been done here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cancel this, and if I go back to this folder, you'll notice that right here is the sidecar file. Now, if I create a new folder, and I hide the sidecar file, and now we go in and we once again choose to open these both back up inside of Photoshop. You will see when they get to Camera Raw, the DNG still looks the same, but the RAW file does not. Now, as discussed earlier in the lectures, the DNG contains all of the processing data inside of its file itself. So the XMP file is actually embedded inside of the DNG, which makes it a much more efficient RAW file because it will contain all of the important processing information. Obviously, both these files will have copyright files and things like that included, but because this one is missing that sidecar file, this actually is the way that this file looks in camera, how it was shot. So that's the unique thing about this. Now, one last thing here. If I go back to Lightroom, you guys can see that this is the JPEG file. Now, it looks also the same here. And once again, if we go to where it resides on the computer, you can see that if I just press the quick preview inside my computer here, I can see that this is still a JPEG that looks as if the camera had shot it. There's no processing applied. The processing done is called non-destructive editing, which means it's actually inside of Lightroom, and the data, similar to XMP or Sidecar, is actually stored inside of the information that the Lightroom catalog creates. So this JPEG file, as you see right here, now looks unprocessed. So if I was to go ahead and open it up with Photoshop, you will see that it opens up once again inside of Camera Raw, but it is still a color image. There's been no processing applied to it from Lightroom. So this is the unique thing about all these different file types. So once again, a JPEG file is an actual finished cooked file. If I wanted to go ahead and take this JPEG file and export it out with all the processing in here, I would just choose, go ahead and export, and then choose to where I'm going to put it and all that type of thing. And if I'm going to go ahead and do that, I go ahead and I'll click the export real quick here. It should take a quick minute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And boy, that's taking forever. Oop, there it goes. So now if I go in here and look inside this folder, you'll see that there's a JPEG here, but if I press the space bar, now you see that it's been processed, the crop's been applied, and now it looks like the other files. So that is what a JPEG is. It is a finished file. It cannot be undone. So once again, if I open this up inside of Photoshop, Oh, I already closed Photoshop, but you guys get the idea. So that's basically the differences between the different file types, and this is how it opens up in the preview program. So just a quick run through on these, just so you understand the differences. So there we have it.